What's up, everybody? This is Xenox Fan Ben, and today is October 20th, 2023, and that means that the patent that Wizards of the Coast has expires today. I'll put a link to the description showing it on the Google Patents page. So it expires 20 years to the day since it was filed, so even though it didn't go active or published until 2007, it expires 20 years from the filing date back in October 2003. And it might not be a huge deal, but I just want to make a video about it because it's been something that the community has been looking forward to for a little while. Bottom line is, theoretically, it should make it potentially a little easier or cheaper for Wizkids to relaunch the game if they wanted to. So I've also got up the ICV2 page where you can see they said back in 2008, as part of the settlement, so they had a lawsuit over this patent and whatnot, and the legal ramifications of it. So it says, as part of the settlement, which also provides for the dismissal of all claims and counterclaims, Wizards has granted WizKids a license for the Pirates Pocket Model game to the patent and all related patents that might issue. The rest of the settlement remains confidential, and under terms of the agreement, neither WizKids nor Wizards of the Coast can comment further on the agreement. So we don't really know exactly what happened, and nobody's been able to tell me, understandably, what it entailed and what kind of happened. You can find more details, including like the lawsuit specifically, on this legal research and outreach collection post that I made on Pirates with Ben. But basically, it kind of seems like WizKids in the later sets, like maybe 2007, 2008, like Rise of the Fiends and onward, perhaps, they probably had to pay maybe like a licensing fee or something like that, royalties to Wizards of the Coast, given that the Wizards of the Coast could have like basically prevented them from making the game otherwise. So settlement is not really, shouldn't be a thing anymore now that the patent's expired. So theoretically, maybe WizKids could have better margins or maybe a better chance of relaunching the game if they wanted to, now that that patent is out of the way. And I've gone on, some people kind of theorized, so they can't renew a patent, but theoretically they might be able to come out with something similar that also covers the constructible strategy game concept. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not expecting to see anything anyway, but it's definitely a day to kind of check the website. So there's nothing on WizKids. They're not going to announce anything the same day, even if they do in the future. And you can see the Pirates of the Spanish main page they have up for the Shuffling the Deck card game. There's nothing on there. So nothing on the WizKids site, nothing on like the Instagram accounts or anything like that that I've seen either. But we can keep monitoring these as time goes on. Nothing on the Wizards of the Coast website, of course. The Justia website has that patent being filed back in 2003 on this day as well. So 20 years to the day since they started that whole sequence. Nothing on the NECA webpage. So they own WizKids. Nothing on the Facebook pages either. So no surprise there, really. Overall, it might not really mean much, if anything. There's probably a number of other reasons why, probably much bigger reasons why WizKids hasn't relaunched the game and may not in the future. But it's kind of nice to have a little bit more clarity on the legal situation now that this patent is out of the way. So at least it's overall positive. And if you're in the Facebook group, you probably saw there was a post recently about at the Alliance open house back in early September. Supposedly WizKids was there and announced that the game was coming back in some form. But I messaged a bunch of people at WizKids and people that were at the open house, and there's almost no details that they actually announced. Like there's no dates, or like nobody knows if it's going to be compatible with the original CSG or not. And nobody at WizKids that responded to me was able to give any details on if there's a relaunch and whatnot and what it entails, which is understandable because they have like their business confidentiality and everything. So I didn't really expect much from that. So we'll just have to hope for the best. And in the meantime, they actually responded to Joolm quite a while back about if there's a chance of it returning. They said, please feel free to share your enthusiasm. So I think now, with the patent out of the way, theoretically, they have a slightly clearer path to potentially relaunching the game. So I think this would be as good a time as ever to share our enthusiasm and message WizKids and NECA on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, things like that, contact forms on their site. Just kind of let them know that we're still out there. The Pirates community is still passionate, and even 20 years later, we're still hoping to see the game on store shelves again, or at least in some format. So anyway, curious to see what you think of this. Question of the day would be: what do you think is the biggest thing currently standing in WizKids? What's their biggest obstacle to restarting the game? Because it probably wasn't the patent. This is kind of just an interesting date to put on the calendar. It's at least good news overall, but there's probably more existing issues of getting a production line back started again, where to produce it, and also their current focus is more on action figures, things like that. So they're not quite as into the game making business as they used to be, perhaps. So they're not haven't made Pirates in so long. It'd be pretty wild to start it back up again, especially because the people that made it back when it was in production are not at WizKids anymore, with almost no exceptions, I think. So anyway, curious to hear what you think of this, and please feel free to share your enthusiasm for the game with WizKids and NECA, so they hear us. And thanks for watching. Feel free to let me know what other video ideas you'd like to see as well. So this is Day 7 X Men Ben, signing off for now, and thanks for watching.